Hello all, Mike from DynamicPoint. Today I'm briefly going to take you through our EasyAP 365 product, which allows the processing of invoices leveraging Microsoft Office 365. So we're going to start off pretending to be a vendor, and we want to go ahead and submit a new invoice to our organization for processing. So here I have an email. There's different ways to submit the invoices using our product, but email is probably the easiest. So we'll stick with that for the sake of the demonstration today. I have an invoice, as you can see, fairly simple one. And I'm submitting it to the DynamicPoint invoice processing inbox at apautomation@dynamicpoint.com. I'll go ahead and submit it. That invoice will be sent into SharePoint and actually create itself in a SharePoint document library. In conjunction, it's going to kick off a workflow process to the manager for sake of review and approval. So I'll go ahead and bring over my inbox. So there's different ways to approve this. You could do it from email notification as well as mobile. For the sake of today, we'll just go through the email method. You can see I have a pretty simple email here telling me the details as well as a link to the actual invoice so I could review it, and then approve or reject buttons. So we can say it looks good. And then we'll submit that. For the sake of today, our workflow is extremely simple. It's only one step. So after that final approval, I'm going to go ahead and process the invoices. Click process the invoice. Go in here into Dynamics EasyAP 365. I can see I have a new invoice that is waiting for my processing. So this is the view that accounting would use to process the invoice. In conjunction, a few things happened behind the scenes. One, OCR was performed on this invoice, so we are able to extract the amount, such things as the date, the invoice number. And the second thing that was done behind the scenes was we applied a vendor template that already included the allocation. So here we have 50% going to a couple different accounts as well as a couple different locations. So from an accounting perspective, I could come in here, look at this, confirm the allocations, again, look at the invoice one more time to make sure it looks good, and submit it. The submission process has an integration with Microsoft Dynamics. And if I were to open that up and bring that across, you can see that the invoice has successfully been created in Microsoft Dynamics. So that is the process. Now to step through that really briefly on what occurred. We'll bring open a slide. First of all, the file was emailed to SharePoint. So that went into a document library within SharePoint. OCR was performed on it, so it was submitted to an OCR engine. We recognized certain fields such as the amount, the date, the invoice number, etc. We did an approval process using Microsoft Flow. We applied a DynamicPoint vendor template, which included the account allocations, any dimensions, things of that nature. Accounting went into the dashboard and processed it, and then lastly, the Dynamics integration. So from there, it would be a normal Dynamics invoice, of which could be paid using your normal processes. Thank you so much for joining us.